Alright y'all, so look, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my honest opinions on current UFC champions. In this video we aren't going to be including any female champions such as Alexa Grasso and Zhang Weili, so let's get right on into it. For our first champion we have flyweight Alexandre Pantoja, and for my first point, I think he has the potential to be a low-key GOAT. Like, I know he's only had 2 title fights, if you can include the first Moreno fight, but he got the belt off of Moreno in July and defended it against Royval in December. I know the Royval fight was kind of like a stinker. It wasn't that entertaining, but in my opinion, he was really dominant in that fight. The Moreno fight was a brawl. It's up there for greatest fight of 2023, or I think fight of the year. I think it's up there for fight of the year 2023. That was a barn burner of a fight, honestly. And I had Pantoja going into that fight too. I felt like he's an underdog. I low-key have a soft spot for underdogs, low-key. So I had him in that fight, and he pulled through. For my second point, are you proud of me, Dad? You proud of me? He has a backstory, man. We love a backstory, kind of like that. I won't say he doesn't have like a Charles Oliveira type of backstory, but I'd say it's a really hard-hitting backstory. His father left him, when he was a child, being raised by a single mother. Those type of stories kind of hit you in the feels. He has something that low-key kind of brings that type of audience to the flyweight division, and he's a pretty entertaining flyweight champion, in my opinion. I don't know if he's gonna be like BJ levels, but he'll be up there, bro. I feel like he's got some talent. For my third bullet, he proves that you don't need to talk trash and be likable. His fights aren't super entertaining. I'm really talking about the Royval fight, the Manel Cop fight, and the first Royval fight were really good, and obviously the Moreno fight that happened were really good. But he's not a trash talker. He does what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? No talk, just fight on some GSP level type shit. You know how GSP was the GOAT and he didn't talk shit. He just fought. You know what I mean? So those are my honest opinions on Alexandre Pantoja, flyweight. On to my next one. Sean Sugar O'Malley, bantamweight. For my first point, I think is a really underrated fighter. He can scrap. He got hands on the feet. I feel like on the feet, bro, not a lot of bantamweights are touching him. He's really good. I think it's because of he doesn't really have a stage presence on the mic. That's why people kind of type of bash him a little bit, but end up then way of privilege, but we're about to get there too. But he's a really good fighter. Top all time, I'm gonna say he's up there. He's coming. I'm not gonna say no top 5 of all time. He's not top 5 all time. We got TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz, Loki Cody. I don't know if you can. I don't know. I'm a little biased when it comes to Cody Garbrandt, but Sean O'Malley's a really underrated fighter. For my second point, he's not the next Conor McGregor. I know the UFC are trying to market him as if he's going to be the next Conor McGregor with his little flamboyant type of fashion and the colorful hair, the 6'9" hair, and the tats, the body tats, the face tats. I don't know. I'm really not kind of into it. You know what I'm saying? It's too flamboyant for me, man. But they're trying to market him as if he's going to be the next Conor McGregor, and that's just not realistic whatsoever, bro. He has no type of stage presence. He doesn't have any type of charisma. He just looks like a rainbow embodiment taking form, like a humanoid rainbow. He's not gonna be the new Conor McGregor. He cannot talk. He stutters over his words. I don't know, man. And he was kind of getting out chirped by Petr Yan, who literally can't even speak English correctly. For my third bullet, I got Dana White privilege. So that kind of goes on to my second bullet. Dana White privilege. Dana's kind of trying to market Sean O'Malley as if he's going to be the new Conor McGregor. I remember after he beat Aljo, Dana said he's gonna make so much money, he's gonna go up from here. I mean, yeah, we really tune in to Sean O'Malley fights because of his fight style, not because of his marketability and his charisma. He's not really that type of guy that will make you any type of money. He's not like a Colby Covington or you know what I'm saying, like a Chael Sonnen or anything. But I mean, his fights are super entertaining, I can tell you that. And for my last bullet, I got padded record. Sean O'Malley kind of does have a padded record. I mean, you know, he has that title win fight against Aljamain Sterling. I low-key had Aljamain Sterling winning that fight going into it, and then he just pulls up the upset, which was, I was kind of happy for him, low-key. I couldn't believe it the next day. You know, he really got clipped with that little hook. I don't know. And then against Petr Yan, that was low-key a robbery over Petr Yan. And then after that, or no, before that, he just canned. He was just a can crusher. UFC kind of like boosted him up, you know. I mean, like, he does have the skills to be a champion. You know, he is the current bantamweight champion, but I don't know. I feel like he had like a padded record. People talk about Khabib, but they don't look at Sean O'Malley. It's crazy. On to my next fighter. We got Alexander Volkanovski, featherweight. For my first bullet I got, he's already the GOAT without zero trash talking. I don't really see like any trash talk from Alexander Volkanovski. He's not really a trash talker like that. You know, he just fights with his hands. Honestly, he's just him. You know, he's another example of being able to become the greatest of all time with zero trash talk, which is really good for him. For my second bullet, I got fights for the underdogs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Stand up for yourself. Don't get bullied. Stand up for yourself. You know, he stands up for all those underdogs. Going into the Islam fight, he was an underdog. You know, he went out there, beat the brakes off of Islam. I'm obviously talking about the first fight. You know, he's just a dog, man. He got that dog in him. For my third bullet, I got his activity might be the lead to his downfall. Yes, in October, UFC 294, he got head kick KO'd by Islam Makhachev, and he's making a relatively quick comeback, a 4-month comeback to fight Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is nobody to sleep on, honestly. Ilia Topuria is really good. I think he's going to give him a run for his money. Ilia Topuria can potentially come on top during that fight, which I'm kind of scared for Volk in that fight. You know, this is a relatively super quick turnaround, and Volkanovski isn't, you know, really young. I think he's like 36, 35. He's pretty old. I know he doesn't really have that much time on his record, so he should really be careful going into that fight. UFC 297. No, UFC 298 in February, I believe. You know, Ilia Topuria might give him a run for his money. And for my last bullet, his fights with Islam has no effect over his legacy. I think the 2 fights that he has over Islam, those 2 losses that he has with Islam, has no type of effect over his legacy. Islam did win them, but like, it doesn't, like, he's still the GOAT of the featherweight division. You know, he went up to fight Islam. He tried to take the risk, tried to go for champ status and everything. I'm gonna share my thoughts on champ in a second, but he tried to become champ. He earned it, though. He cleared out his division. Max is literally like a gatekeeper in the featherweight division right now. You have to get through Max to beat or to get to Alexander Volkanovski. He's the king. He runs the featherweight division right now. So I think those 2 losses over Islam at lightweight don't really affect his legacy whatsoever. He's still the GOAT in my eyes. So for my next fighter, we got Islam Makhachev, lightweight. Islam, right now, I consider Islam the GOAT of the lightweight right now. I think he's the GOAT. I think he's approaching Khabib. I know people like say Khabib's the GOAT and everything, but I think Islam is a way better all-around fighter than Khabib was. Khabib was insane on the ground, but his stand-up was trash. His stand-up was dog shit. I'm not gonna cap. Islam Makhachev, his stand-up is absolutely so underrated. People underrate his stand-up. People underrate his clinch game is really good too. But I mean, like, what do you expect from these Dagestani inbreds? But I kind of got sidetracked right there. But yeah, he's just an all-around fighter. He's an all-around GOAT. And yeah, he's the pound for pound number one. I know that was a little thing like talked about with John Jones. John Jones being John Jones he should not be on the pound for pound list. And if you want to consider him on the pound for pound list, he should be like pound for pound number 3 behind Volkanovski. I don't know, but he's the well-deserved pound for pound number 1 GOAT. You know what I mean? For my third bullet, all-around fighter. I kind of went on to that when I was talking about my first point. He's an all-around fighter, better than Khabib. You know what I'm saying? Stand-up, insane, really underrated. Clinch game, super underrated. A lot of people don't really talk about the clinch game when they talk about, UFC when it comes to like fights, really, because, it kind of goes like, people want to see, motherfuckers throw hands type shit. You know what I mean? We don't want to see no fucking hugging and shit, but when you think about it in, like, the way they, like, score the fights and everything, his clinch game is really good. For my fourth bullet, no longer in Khabib's shadow. For a long time, we didn't really know who Islam Makhachev was, but, he was Abdulmanap's favorite protege. You know what I'm saying? Not even his son was his favorite protege. It was Islam. I think Islam is so, like, a lot more talented than Khabib is. Khabib is he just got that dog in him, but so does Islam. You know what I mean? He's no longer in Islam's shadow. When I think of a GOAT, low-key, the first person that comes to mind is Islam Makhachev. That might be a little bit based on recency bias, but I just think he's no longer in Khabib's shadow, and he's approaching GOAT status. For my fifth bullet, he needs to fight lightweight contenders. Yes, Islam Makhachev does have those 2 wins over Alexander Volkanovski, the featherweight GOAT, which kind of puts him up there. Not even kind of, it does put him up there. He just needs to fight lightweight contenders. We need, like, a Justin Gaethje, a Dustin Poirier, like Arman Tsarukyan. We need that rematch. I know that happened, when he was a contender before he had the belt and everything, and it was really close, honestly. It wasn't even that, like, it was really contentious. Not super contentious, but fairly contentious. You know what I mean? Arman Tsarukyan, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. We need to see those fights. A lot of people don't want to see those fights because, they've already gone through Khabib, and Khabib cooked them. So, but Islam is a way different fighter than Khabib is. I think these fights would be super entertaining, and they'd make a lot of buzz. And for my last bullet for lightweight, can potentially become double champ. So here's the thing about double champ status in the UFC. I don't know about it, right? We saw Conor go up and fight, Eddie Alvarez for, champ status, becoming the first simultaneous champ. And a lot of people nowadays are kind of neglecting their contenders in, like, their division and trying to go up for champ status. I'm about to say that for Leon, bro. I fucking hate Leon. But yeah, I think Islam, I won't say he earned it yet. He has those 2 wins over Alexander Volkanovski, but the second win was on 10 days notice. It was, but what are you gonna do against a flush head kick? You can't really. A full fight camp isn't really going to defend you against a flush head kick like that. So I feel like he needs to fight a little bit more in his weight class, a bit, like a few fights, like 1 or 2, and then he can go up for champ. I think he can easily beat the fuck out of Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is so overrated. Oh my god, I'm about to get into him. All right, so for my next, I'm dreading this one, bro. For my next fighter on the list, we have Leon Edwards, welterweight. We need to make 170 great again, man. The only person to do that right now is Bilal Muhammad. I'm trusting him to knock the fuck out of. Dude, I don't know if he's gonna, bro. He got eye poked. But yeah, Leon Edwards need to fight a little bit more in his lightweight, in his weight class. We need welterweight fights. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about going up fighting for champ. No one wants to see that. Stop it. Yeah. For my second bullet, he just needs to fight welterweight contenders, bro. He just needs to fight them. Honestly, stop talking about champ. You cooked Marty twice. You know what I mean? Head kick KO, headshot bang, dead. And that was cool and everything. Then, you had that fluke win over the people's champ. It was I guess. He wasn't even in there. I guess Colby just didn't want to get fucking meme KO'd. That's why I think he was kind of hesitant on the feet. And another thing, he has 0 marketability. He has no fucking personality. Oh my god, Leon Edwards is so boring in all. Like, dude, I think media day is like his work. Like, media, like that entire entire fight week, media day is his worst day. He can't talk on the mic. He has no type of charisma, 0 marketability, and people are talking about making him versus Bilal like the main event for UFC 300. Are you insane? What the fuck? You want to see that shit for UFC 300? Fuck no, stop it, buddy. He is Nate Diaz's bitch. Nate Diaz owns him. Oh my god, what? Haha, what? Fuck you. Dude, he owns Leon Edwards. And you know what I'm saying? The fight between him and Nate, when he won, unanimous decision. I don't even know why he was unanimous. Nate should have won that shit. He got the title shot. And he doesn't even want to give the same opportunity to Bilal. I know they fought before, eye poke. But, when he was a contender, he was begging for the title shot, begging, uncle, Daddy Dana, please, I need a title shot. He gets the title shot. Now he doesn't want to give that same opportunity to Bilal. Bilal's in your position, the position that you were in about a year and a half ago. Now you don't want to give it to him because of an eye poke. You said you already fought him and you won against him. No, stop it, bro. Bilal is going to make... No, he's not, bro. We need Shavkat, bro. We need Shavkat. Fuck it. For my next fighter on the list, we got Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is an insanely underrated fighter, fight style wise. He got that. He's incorporating boxing Philly shell in MMA. Really the only one to do it successfully. And people really underrate him. Dog walked, pun intended, dog walked Izzy for 5 straight rounds, made him a bitch, owned him, started yelling in his face. Couldn't be me. Everything Colby Covington, the people's champion, America's champion, Donald Trump's favorite champion. Everything Colby Covington could have been. He's insane on the mic. Weird type of charisma. Can chirp. We need champions that can chirp. You know what I'm saying? And can box in the octagon. Colby can only do one of those things. And that's chirp. Dude, the fight, dude, we all had... I'm not even going to talk about Colby. This is Sean Strickland's spotlight. Sean is really good. Great role model. Okay, hear me out on great role model. He advocates for fathers beating their... I'm joking. Actually, no, but it's kind of commendable. He was ranked 7th in his weight class. Got the opportunity to fight the champion. Dog walked him for 5 straight rounds and became the champion. He's somebody you got to look up to, man. Underdog story right there. And then for my last bullet, a win over DDP and or Hamzat will make him a superstar. His stock will rise astronomically. If Sean Strickland beats the fuck out of DDP, you know what I'm saying, and then goes off to fight Hamzat in UFC 300 or in a card a little later, he can become a instant superstar. And we already know the DDP beef with the fathers and everything. That beef is kind of weird. And then we got the Hamzat beef. These two used to box, or these two used to train at the same gym. And, Sean kind of knows what Hamzat can do. And Hamzat, they know something we don't. You know what I mean? Hamzat's saying that he will destroy Sean, dog walk him, just make him his bitch. And Sean is like, but Sean doesn't... He ducks no type of smoke. We love that about Sean, and we need that a lot more from these UFC champions. So for my next fighter, I have Alex Pereira, the light heavyweight champion. Alex Pereira has got to be one of, if not the best combat athletes of all time. He's a 2-time Hall of Fame kickboxing champion. Israel Adesanya's come to daddy. He's Israel Adesanya's father. You know what I mean, dude? And he's a double champion, middleweight and light heavy. Insane, bro. If he's not on your best of all time combat athletes of all time, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what you're on. Has the potential to become the GOAT of the sport. You know what I mean? He's really dominant. I think that loss over Izzy in April of 2023 kind of, shafted people the wrong way a little bit because he got knocked out, KO'd, starch cold. I was like, damn, is he dead? But, it's whatever, bro. He beat Jan Blachowicz. He beat Yuri Prochazka. He beat Israel Adesanya before he got KO'd. And, dude, those are all champions. Oh, and he beat Sean Strickland, the current middleweight champion. Dude, his resume is insane. When you talk about resumes, Pereira's is up there, dude. All champions, dude. Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prochazka. Yuri Prochazka was coming off of an injury, a year and a half off. Gotta give him that, but, he still kind of fucked him up. Israel Adesanya the first time. And, there are mixes talking about him and Jamal Hill during UFC 300, which I really want to see, man. Jamal Hill's talking so much shit in the press. I want to see Alex Pereira go out there and starch the fuck out of him. Insane fan base and speaks absolute zilch English, dude. The dude, that shit is so stupid, but it's so funny at the same time. The fan base loves him. The UFC media, they love him. Dude, He just has charisma without having charisma type shit. I don't even know. And then the Izzy storyline is one of the best storylines of all of UFC history. We got DC versus Jones. We got Cody No Love versus TJ Dillashaw. We got, dude, this storyline, dude, he hunted him. He beat him what, 2 times in kickboxing? Hunted him down in UFC. Starched him. TKO'd his ass in what, the 4th round? In MMA, cooked him, took his belt away from him, made him his father. This dude, Alex Pereira, is a beast. He's a menace, dude. Oh my God, he's gonna be so good. And last, and certainly least, we have John Turnbull Jones for heavyweight. For my first bullet, I'm sorry, man, I hate John Jones. He is not the GOAT. He's not the greatest of all time. When you dabble in PEDs and get caught, you can no longer be touted as the greatest of all time in your sport. I'm sorry, you trash. We do not want to see the fight with Stipe Miocic. No. We do not want to see that fight. I'm sorry. Stipe is old. He's a firefighter. Stipe has not touched an octagon. He has not touched gloves in 3 years. 2021 was when he got folded like a lawn chair by Francis Ngannou. Are you insane? You want to fight him? You can fight Tom Aspinall. Go crazy. I promise you, if you were to fight Tom Aspinall and potentially beat him, his legacy would be so much better if he beats Stipe Miocic. We know Stipe Miocic is touted as like the heavyweight GOAT in the UFC, but he's old. He doesn't care about the sport anymore. He's a father. He's a firefighter, and he just got flatline KO'd by Francis Ngannou 3 years back. He hasn't touched gloves since then. Stop it. Fight Tom Aspinall. We need you to fight Tom Aspinall right now. That's the fight that you have to make. Tom Aspinall is the interim champion. Meritocracy. You are the undisputed heavyweight champion. You have to fight the interim champion to unify the belt. What are you doing, John Jones? Fuck you. UFC owes this motherfucker no fucking favors, you know what I'm saying? Look at fucking, look, bruh, Turnbull banging his head on a fucking cop car, speeding under the influence and hitting a pregnant woman, and all these fucking DUIs. UFC, what are you doing? You have John Jones' nuts swinging from your mouth hole. We don't want to see this fucking fight. We don't want to, why do you keep giving him what he wants? Let him fight Tom. Let him fight. I know he's ducking Tom because Tom would blitz the fuck out of him and hit him with a fat overhand and knock his ass out cold and ruin his quote-unquote undefeated streak. Fuck you, John Jones. I hate you. Oh my God. You are not the heavyweight GOAT. You are not the GOAT of the sport. Stop it. And that wraps up my honest opinions for the current UFC champions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.